Hey guys, what's up? Thought I'd make another video tonight. I kind of wrote some stuff down. I think what I'm just going to do is kind of go through my work history because it's kind of interesting. I've had a lot of jobs. I think I got like 17 on here from, God, I've been working since I was 16 was when I first got my first job when I had a car. And just a summer job. Didn't want to work in school. My parents didn't really want me to work while I was in school either. First job was I worked at a go-kart track. It was pretty cool. It wasn't like the ones you see nowadays that are all nice and pretty and whatnot. It was just I don't know, little paved raceway with tires lining the whole track, and that's what I did all day. Was when people would crash, get them back on the thing and reset up the tires. So that was a pretty neat summer. Got ran over once, but no big deal. Then the next summer, I worked as a tree surgeon. Well, I guess not really a tree surgeon. I was affectionately referred to as the pilot because he would tell me to give me the wood and say pilot over here, pilot over there. That was not really a fun summer. That was a lot of outside, hot work, and it definitely gets hot in the summertime in North Carolina. Then from there, that was summer after I graduated, so I went to college for like a year, and then not so hot with the college thing. Just never went to class. So I was like, let me try and get a job. Maybe I'll go back to college later. So looked around, couldn't find a job. Ended up going to Army recruiters. Actually went to Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine recruiters, all of them. Army was definitely the best bet, so I signed up for the Army. And of course, as soon as I take my oath and sign up, I get a job. uh, and you don't actually leave. Like, once you sign up, you don't actually leave for another couple of months anyway. So, figured might as well work before I go in, and I did land surveying. Went out, and found people's property lines and then surveyed the land to see how, what their acreage was, and then they would draw maps in the office and we'd record them in the land of deeds, so they'd have maps to go with the deeds. Then after that, went in the military. Went in the military for biomedical equipment repair. So basically, I have an Army diploma that says I can fix anything in a hospital, and of course I don't use that. But actually comes in handy on my resumes though. So I was biomed tech, then was in the Army for 3 years. I got out, came home, and went back to my surveying job, because anytime you leave a job and go in the military, when you get back, then they have to give you your job back. So I worked there back at the surveying place for probably about a year and a half. The second half of that, I actually got to move into the office and basically be a cartographer. I actually drew the maps with AutoCAD, and that kind of got old. I was going to go back to school. Whatever. That's when I started hanging out in coffee shops on a pretty regular basis. So I figured, what the hey, I'll get a job at a coffee shop. Start out part-time and then kind of moved into full-time. So it was just a barista there, just serve people coffee and whatnot. Then after that, I went to Allstate. I was a claim service representative, something like that. I basically worked in a call center, answered the phone, took people's actual claim over the phone. So they would call me like right after something happened, and I would put all the information in and then send it on to the claim rep. And after that, I worked at Jillian's. I was a hibachi chef, so I could do all that crazy, like flipping around and flipping bowls and throwing rice balls in people's mouths and stuff like that. That was kind of fun for a bit. That gets old really quick, though, let me tell you. Then I got back into biomed tech. Found a little local place that did physical therapy equipment. We call them modalities. So with that, I got into, I fixed them. I did phone support. I delivered. I set up. I did everything. That was a great job. I did all the shipping and receiving. I basically just became the jack of all trades. And then after that, I went into security. Not like, you know, ooh, I'm a security guard, whatever, but like corporate security. So it was more, I'm not going to say bodyguard type stuff, but something to that effect. Uh, then after that, I had a short stint at the Waffle House. I cooked and waited tables, so that was kind of fun. Then I moved on to Bob Evans. Got a job cooking at Bob Evans. That wasn't too bad. Cooking is just—it's such a hot job, and I do not like the heat. I tell you. Then I went to Books a Million, where I worked in the cafe, Joe Muggs. Ended up becoming the manager there after a couple months, and then while I was there, I had a friend that was working at another coffee shop that was opening up, so I actually left there to go to this new coffee shop and manage it, um, and help the guy open up and get everything set up, and you know, take care of it for him because he was out of town all the time. Then that place closed down. Unfortunately, it was a great shop, just not in the best location in the world. Or, well, it was a good location, just not the right time. And then from there, some of my regulars there were in masonry, so they gave me a job. I worked there for about a year and a half, and I mean, you want to talk about some hot work and some hard work. That is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. But I was good at it. You know, I was the lead uh, the lead laborer. I, you know, made sure everybody was doing their jobs and made sure all the masons had everything and ran the scaffold and drove all the tractors. I mean, it was neat. It was a good experience. I think everybody should have to do it once because it really is a hard job. Then I got my job at Jackson's, which is another coffee shop, a local place in Charlotte here. Uh, After a couple of months, I started managing that place. I had a little 2-week interlude there where I tried to go to this other new coffee shop and help them get open and manage that place for them, but just wasn't really my kind of shop. They were a little too much into the wine and not as much into the coffee. So I went back to Jackson's. Then from there, I went to this place called Creative Video, where they would send cameras out with tour groups, and they would take all the pictures and they would send the cameras back to us, and then we would go through and do all the Photoshop and edit everything together and make this neat little slideshow with music and stuff in the back. It was pretty cool, but that was a temporary job. And then now I'm at the tech support place, which is really lots of fun. We're finally we're sort of out of class. We're sitting in on the phones, you know. We'll probably be on the phones Thursday, I would imagine, and actually taking calls and done with everything and just be on the floor, which that'll be nice. I guess basically the point of telling you guys all this is, you know, I've had a bunch of jobs. Everybody's always like, oh, you just can't decide what you want to do. And it's not so much that I can't decide what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I want my own coffee shop, but I know that's going to take some hard work, and I'm going to have to save up some money and get ready and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's just probably not going to happen anytime soon, not within the next couple of years anyway. And so, you know, I'm looking for a place with opportunity. It's so hard these days to find a job that has a lot of opportunity, that hires from within, that really appreciates the things you do for them. And, you know, I mean, that's why I like the small businesses, because they do appreciate you more. But then again, in the small businesses, there's not any place to go up. There's no upward mobility. This place has a lot of upward mobility. They seem very appreciative. They really respect and they really take into consideration all the hard work that you put in. And plus, it's a cake job. I mean, God, we sit on the phone. The calls, not, you know, you're not like constantly on the phone. They goof off all the time. They're always looking online and chat programs and stuff like that. I mean, I sat with a guy today, and I mean, he was doing 15 different things while he's taking a call. So I mean, it's no different than me sitting in my house and doing what I normally do, but, you know, taking phone calls and helping people, you know, get their stuff connected and get their computers working again. So anyway, just a little insight into my life, and maybe tomorrow I'll go through the cars that I had. I think that would be a good one, because I've had a lot of cars too. Alrighty, I hope you guys have a great night.